Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I'll be teaching you how to use SQL online without having to install anything on your computer. So, sometimes practicing SQL can be a little tedious, especially if you don't have a database already available to you. So, what I recommend you guys to do is to go into SQLiteonline.com. And SQLite Online is honestly a compiler online which allows you to play around with SQL. There's different versions of SQL available. There's SQLite, MariaDB, Postgre, MS, Oracle, probably some other versions too. So right off the bat, there is this demo table on SQLite, and we can play around with it. We can select ID and name from demo, and we can run it, and it gives us basically this result. However, if you're watching this video, you probably want to practice something a little bit more complex, like inner joins, outer joins, unions, window functions, I don't know, you name it. So to do this, you want to download a database, right? And fortunately, there are a lot of open source databases available for us. There's the Sakilla SQL database, which you have probably heard about before. Sakilla is a very well-known database used for testing. If you've ever taken a course on SQL, you've probably heard about this, and you can download it from this website. Although websites that I'm checking out right now, I'll leave in the description down below so you can check them out. There is also the DVD rental SQL database, which has a bunch of titles from movies that you can play around with and a bunch of different tables. And this is the schema, right? I personally like the Chinook SQL database, which is available on GitHub, and I like it because it can be generated with a single SQL file. So let's say we wanted to practice Postgre, right? So I'm just going to click to connect on SQLite.com. I'm going to go over here to the downloads page on the Chinook GitHub repository, and I'm going to look for the Postgre version that allows me to create and populate all the tables. So I have the Chinook Postgre SQL file right here. I'm going to, well, you can download it. You can save the link file as Chinook Postgre.something SQL. I already have it downloaded here on my desktop, but just to let you know what it looks like is just a bunch of create tables and insert intos, which, like I said, creates all the tables and populates the entire database. And you can see it's a pretty long code. So just download it, go into SQLite.com, and open the SQL file. This is going to take a while, probably like 20 seconds or something. As you can see, I have already opened the Chinook PostgreSQL.SQL file, and it's got all the things that we need. So if we just run it, it's going to take, I don't know, like probably, what do you know, like around 5 seconds, and all the tables are now available in PostgreSQL. So if we click over here to create a new query, I can essentially select everything from album, right, which is a table that's over here. If I run the query, it gives me all the columns, album ID, title, artist ID, and you can essentially play around with it. There's also artist, and it seems here that they share artist ID as their column, right, as a primary key, I guess. So we can select maybe name from artist. Let's just name artist as X. Let's select, I don't know, X name as artist. We're also going to select Y dot, I think it was called title. Inner join album as Y, just on, I think it's artist, well actually you can just do x dot artist ID equals y dot artist ID. And let's see if this works, but essentially what I want to, there we go. Now we have the name and the title of the song, right? And so essentially what I wanted to convey here is that you can play around with all these tables without you installing anything on your computer. You know, you don't need to install a database management system, an engine. You don't have to install anything. You just have to go into SQLiteonline.com, download an SQL file that populates a database, and open it on the site. And there you go. You can play around with it. So I hope you find this useful. And that's it for today's video. Bye.